Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts Woodward Sports.
Oh, yeah, baby.
The Wings win, come on!
We're back. We're so back. We're so back.
So up, come
Tied
on,
for
man.
first. Tied for first.
We're literally so dialed. Holy shit. Welcome to Woodward Wings. Justin Satawa, Spemo Raxter.
Hello.
We are here. I mean, come on, man. That's how you take care of the fucking defending champs. That's gritty hockey. Like, that is what we have been wanting from this team for the last year, watching them like kind of get this McClellan style under their belts, and now they look like they have it. They're playing much better in all three zones. That was a great win. There was times where the ice was tilted in the Panthers' favor, but time and time again, they kept responding. They kept coming back. It was great to see. Spencer, do you echo the same sentiment?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of times where you saw the Panthers kind of control the puck, and that's what they're going to do. Even without Barkov, even without Kachuk, they have such a deep lineup and so much experience in it. They still got Bennett. They still got Marchand. They still got Verhaeghe. They still got Reinhardt. They still got all these guys out there that can do a lot of damage and control the puck. And they did it a couple times where they were in the Red Wings zone for a while, but the Red Wings were blocking shots. They were mucking it up. They were playing physical in the back of the net, and they were making sure that they didn't get any really good scoring chances. The Panthers had I don't think any scoring chances in the second period. It was impressive what the Red Wings were doing, and there's a ton of different players we can shout out. Obviously, Spartan Dog, Mason Appleton, he's got 2 goals. One was an empty netter. I really needed DeBrincat to get it for my other anytime goal, but my parlay did cash. The parlay I gave out on Woodward Heavyweights did cash. 3 DeBrincat shots, a point for Kane and a point for Larkin, so shout out to them. Shout out to Patrick Kane, another point. They've been electric, man. I really want to highlight somebody like my main focus. I'm going to highlight in a little bit, but I do want to just shout out Emmett Finney, man. He has been so good on that first line, forechecking, playing physical, winning puck battles, creating turnovers, using his size, using his skating ability to get in the back of the net and make things uncomfortable for opposing teams. So shout out to Emmett Finney. He has not looked out of place in the first line for the Red Wings, even as a rookie.
No, he has not. And this was kind of where I felt the first time where he has come out and truly been dynamic. He hasn't been losing puck battles. He went out there, he used his speed. He felt like a true second complement to Dylan Larkin during this game, which he desperately needed. Without Lucas Raymond in the lineup, he really stepped up. He was that spark. He won puck battles. It was huge to see from him. He almost scored. He made a great pass to Larkin in the third period as well. All around, Emmett Finney, that it was, in my opinion, my faith game for him. Where now I have faith that he can be that second option on that Larkin-Raymond line if Raymond is to miss a day-to-day game. I thought Appleton brought a lot of speed to that line. Like you said, he scored another goal. Stand your feet challenge to score a goal in level for Mason Appleton. But hey, if he gets him back in the back of the net, I don't really care. It's really funny because my buddy's a Jets fan, and he always told me that Appleton never scores goals. He always just misses wide open net, and now he's just a scoring machine. He's got 2 goals in 2 games. But Emmett Finney, crucial in this game. I don't think that you win this game without his production. Absolutely huge for this team going forward. If you're able to get that level of speed and grit out of Emmett Finney, that is a huge piece for that first line, because that gives that first line a lot of versatility, and especially with all of them being able to score. Well, Emmett Finney, that's to be seen, but we know that Larkin has put up a 30-goal season and Raymond has come close. That's a successful line, in my opinion, and could be a first line in the NHL. In the mid-tier, though, I mean, obviously don't have that stud first liner like a Pastrnak or a Kucherov, but they got 3 really solid guys who can go up with almost anyone.
Yeah, and Dylan Larkin has played well. We talked about
that
it
was
in the
his
preseason.
Best game of the season by far.
Yeah,
really
and we talked about it in the
Raymond.
preseason, using his body, being more of a grinder, getting that net front presence, doing things like that. We saw him have a couple opportunities at rebounds in this game. He had a couple assists where he put him out there. It was a good game for Dylan Larkin, but the guy that I am most excited to talk about, the guy that I think looked better than damn near any player on the ice in this game outside of Cam Talbot was Simon Edvinsson. After Ed had a bad game one, he was out of place. He was watching things happen. He was not acting. He was reacting. But since then, I don't know if it was just McClellan that tore him up, or I don't know if Cromwell walked down there or Lidstrom walked down there, two of my close personal friends that I share coffee with on multiple occasions. But somebody chewed his ass out, because he has been a completely different player these past 3 games. And obviously the Red Wings have won all 3 of them against tough opponents. Simon Edvinsson, he's playing physical. He looks more fluid in the neutral zone, to where he's not getting hiccups. He's not stalling the offense. He's allowing ASP to get up in the offense by having nice, precise, and crisp outlet passes, and his back checking has been so impressive, and he's not letting anybody just stand in front of Cam Talbot. How many times last year did we see a big body on an opposing team just parked in front of the Red Wings net and nobody did anything about it? Now Simon Edvinsson's going in there, he's putting his hip into you, or he's putting his fucking stick into your back, and he's going to make you move. So it's good to see him using his size and his reach to break up pucks, to do different things. Simon Edvinsson has been fantastic these past couple games, especially tonight.
Yes, absolutely. He is such a difference maker back there. And he's just such a calming presence for ASP, who has continued to impress on the defensive end. He still hasn't been able to pop offensively, but defensively, he has brought it. He's been able to make plays. I thought the interference call on ASP was kind of suspect. I thought they both were just battling for positioning, trying to get into that puck battle. Yeah. But Simon Edvinsson has given him the runway to grow quickly and freely. Like, we're still waiting for that moment for ASP to really just jitterbug and start bringing that offensive prowess and that neutral zone transitional defensive game that we're waiting for. But he's going to be able to do that because Simon Edvinsson is so good. I was
just going to say real quick, not to cut you off, I want you to keep going, but we saw a little bit of that with that give and go he had with Patrick Kane right at the blue line, right into the offensive zone. He couldn't get enough on the back end to put it over Bob's blocker, but that was a nice looking play.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the foundation that Edvinsson is giving ASP is what we asked for Seider, what we asked for Edvinsson, but we didn't have the pieces on the roster to be able to support them like that. And now, because they've grown and they are the players that they are today, now ASP has the runway to be able to make mistakes, because Edvinsson is playing at such a high level offensively and defensively. And that's what's so important for ASP's development, is because Simon Edvinsson's playing lights out. And now you'd like last year, I know we were feeling a little shaky about this decor, but I'm feeling more confident. Like, Edvinsson looks like he is going to be a bona fide top 2 defenseman in a pairing, and any team in the NHL, if teams would be so lucky enough to have him, which they won't be, because he's going to be a Red Wing and sign that extension this season. Yes. And now you have pieces. Like, now you have Aljo sliding down to the third line, which we talked about all off season, and how that's paying dividends. JBD
looks pretty good.
Yep, he's coming and been a revelation after Hamonic looked like absolute shit in the first game. and that decor is making plays defensively. I mean, like you said, no one's being able to get to the net. They've really done a great job of keeping guys on the outside, prioritizing the middle of the ice. And we saw in the third period a ton with Seider and Sherratt with a ton of block shots, but it was the carefulness between the two of them to keep someone in front of the net. A lot of times last year, people would desert the front of the net, and then they would leave guys wide open in the slot. This year, I saw the communication between Seider and Sherratt, making sure that one of them is in front of the net, holding off to make sure the slot is cleared. And that's such a big thing for this team, because Florida had a tough time penetrating the middle of the ice. A lot of their shots were from the outside. Even when they really were sticking it to the wings, most of their shots were kept the outside. I thought that was a great sign from the Red Wings tonight.
I agree 100%. And we got a lot of chats popping. Shout out to all you guys. Make sure you smash that like button. We appreciate you so much. This is just awesome to see. It's fine. It's good to talk hockey consistently. Me and Justin are going to be doing this for all year for a majority of the games. And you see Brendan Martin in here. He says Appleton is a superstar. He looked like it on that first line. He's got 3 goals already on the season. He's been great. where was it? Another reason why Appleton's a superstar. Joel Jackson here, he says the penalty kill looking good. And we know that has been such an Achilles, or that was such an Achilles heel of the Red Wings last year. They had arguably one of the worst penalty kills of all time. And so you bring in a guy like Mason Appleton, he provides instant relief in that. Todd McClellan has done a good job solidifying that, and you're seeing a lot of guys put their bodies on the line. Like you said, Sherratt had a lot of block shots. Mo Sider, surprise, he's blocking shots in front of the net. Like, that's what that guy does. So it's good to see that happen. And shout out to Dante151 with the super chat in there. He says, it was nice. What is nice is only giving up 22 shots on goal to the Panthers when the Panthers have been averaging about 26.5 for the first 5 games so far. And absolutely. And I know this isn't the full strength, Legion of Doom, like army of madmen Florida Panthers. Like, they're down probably their 2 best forwards when you look at Barkov and Tkachuk, 2 very physical, very aggressive forwards. But the Red Wings were not bullied in this game, even with, like I said, you still have Bennett, you still have Rodriguez, you still have a Rat and Marchand, you still have Reinhardt, like a lot of guys that are going to use their body, going to use their size. The Red Wings were not intimidated. The Red Wings were not out physicaled, especially in the neutral zone, where we saw them get absolutely mollywopped and bodied by Montreal. Not a physical team at all. Montreal, a small finesse team, was bodying us in the neutral zone, and you go out there against a big physical Toronto team and a big physical Florida team, and you looked like the more physical team out there. That is such just a splash in the face of holy water. Like, it makes me so happy seeing this Red Wings team not be pussies and go out there and actually win puck battles and actually hit people off spots and actually forecheck effectively. It's so awesome to see this. And hats off to Todd McClellan, because he has instilled the physicality and the attention to detail in this team, and you really see it coming out.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% right, Spencer. This team is so much different than the teams of old. Like I can't, like, when is the last time, especially against a team of Florida's caliber, where you felt like we were delivering just as many hits as they were?
Yeah.
I don't think we got out hit today in terms of the big hits that Florida's known for being those bone crushers. Like, we were delivering today. And there was time, and it was the guys who didn't expect to be hitting that were hitting. And that's what I love to see. It was literally top to bottom. Every single person in the entire lineup was playing gritty, was playing physical. The block shots were absolutely that was unbelievable. Everyone was blocking shots.
Everyone was
blocking shots. Kane was blocking shots.
Rasmussen looked good in this game.
Yes, he did.
Like, Michael Rasmussen looked good.
And he got rewarded with the empty netter at the end, and I'm happy for him. He deserved it. He's been grinding. He hasn't looked great this season, but
I'm surprised he didn't pull the shot, because he normally feasts on those empty net goals.
Yeah,
I really wanted DeBrincat to get it.
Yeah, if DeBrincat we got it, I mean, that would have been a huge cash for the boys.
The Spenny parlay cash. Like I said, I gave it out on the heavyweights. I did give DeBrincat anytime goal. That was separate. That did not cash. But what did cash was Larkin point, Kane point, and DeBrincat 3+ shots. That cashed in the first 2 periods.
Yeah, you were right on the money with that one. I was watching, but I put in DeBrincat goal into the parlay because I jumped the gun. I heard DeBrincat goal and I was like, all right, let's go. But it is what it is. But speaking of DeBrincat, Patrick Kane literally today looked like he was 24 years old.
Yeah,
he had so much motion today.
Yeah.
It was crazy. That, first of all, that snipe was absolutely beautiful. Comes right in, snipes him top right.
That was nasty. On Bob too.
Patrick Kane shit right there.
That was vintage Kane.
That was gross.
Yeah.
And then just the way that he was on the puck today. Like, every puck was magnetizing to him, and he was winning loose pucks. He was not afraid of contact either. That was one of the best games I've seen Patrick Kane play in a Red Wings uniform. He was all over the ice. He was making plays, and that was vintage, and that's so great to see. And, last year he was coming off that hip surgery. And we were talking about it, how, he didn't necessarily look that quick in a lot of the games last year. Maybe he is more healthy. Maybe he's got the Javi treatment where the hip's back. He's back. He's feeling rejuvenated. And we're about to see one of the best Patrick Kane seasons that we've seen in a Red Wings uniform. If he continues to play like that on a night-to-night basis, he will return to around a point per game.
I don't know if he can physically do that. I don't know if he can physically play like he did tonight on a night-to-night basis. But luckily, he's not going to have to because of the depth you have with Luke. He had to do it in this game. Lucas Raymond's out. You need someone to provide a little bit more juice in that top six. Patrick Kane gave it to you. Another guy in this team that has been showing out with no training camp, with no preseason, with barely knowing his teammates, James Van Riemsdyk had one of the best periods of hockey I've seen in a Red Wings uniform in a long time. In that second period, man, he was everywhere. He was killing penalties. He was playing on the power play. He was doing stuff in 5-on-5, playing physical, back checking, forechecking, whatever you needed him to do. JVR was out there making plays, man. It was impressive to watch him play at that level. And again, the gray bush of this team, him and Patrick Kane, the 40-year-old men out there, playing with youthful exuberance, playing like fat hog spirit kind of win, baby. That's literally what they were playing with. And maybe that's part of having an Emmett Finney and an MBN and an ASP on this roster. It kind of makes these old heads look, all right, yeah, we're feeling better. We see the 20-year-olds out here skating around, putting bodies into people. We used to do that. Let's do that a little bit. So I loved what I saw out of all of the new additions to this game. When you talk about Appleton and you talk about JVR and you talk about Bernard Docker playing good minutes on that third pair, it was just an overall impressive win for all of the free agents that Steve Yzerman brought in. All of these guys that we talked about, like, they provide the depth all offseason. We were missing that top line guy. Well, it looks like Emmett Finney is that top line guy, and we never criticized anything about Appleton or JVR because they provide so much depth, so much 5-on-5, and so much penalty kill that it's going to help you throughout the year. And we've already seen it. Those guys are 2-year leading scorers already.
And the PK looks great.
So good.
I know that they don't have Barkov and Tkachuk, but this is a multiple game sample size now against a couple good teams and a couple good power plays. They look good. Their positioning is better. They look more comfortable. They look more dialed in. And like we said all off season, the Appleton and the JVR and the JBD signings are great.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these are the depth signings that you need to make. You need high-tier players, and you found Emmett Finney, and now you have MBN, and you look like you are really, forming a nice roster here where if you do make a move, it's for a luxury player where you're really going to start boosting this team when it comes to the trade deadline, where this team looks like if they pick up one top-end defenseman, ooh, I don't want to put the cart too ahead of the horse here, but
what happens if Boston keeps slumping? What happens there? Is Mac on the block? Is that something they think about doing? I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. And you want to be targeting someone like Mac, who is a little older. You don't want to be targeting someone like Rasmus Dahlin, who's got a 2031 contract extension with Buffalo, where you will be giving up ASP in that deal. You might be able to maneuver to get McAvoy without giving up ASP, and that's going to be the way that Steve Yzerman wants to navigate a trade deadline, is how can we make something happen without giving up. He might be willing to move off Carter Bear, but he's now not moving off ASP or MBN. They're on the roster. They're contributing. They look good. There's no reason to. Or Emmett Finney. All of these guys now show that they can be NHL level players. And as a rookie, they're coming in and playing big roles, big minutes. And that's what you need from these guys. Also, ASP is just getting started. I cannot wait until he's coming up on a game where he's just gonna pop. He really
like I said, that give and go with Patrick Kane, where Patrick Kane got it at the blue line and he popped it up, a little chip over, got it to ASP, who was crashing in on Bob, and he couldn't get enough on the backhand. But that's the stuff that we haven't had forever. When's the last defensemen you've seen in a Red Wings uniform be able, like Philip Hronek, and he wasn't even doing anything cool like that. He just had a decent shot. Like this guy MBN is a legitimate forward in a defenseman, and that is something that the Red Wings have not had in, I don't know, ever. And so it's so good to see him go out there and make some things happen. We've seen him with multiple different guys now, multiple different pairings, but him and Simon Edvinsson, man, we're talking about, like you said, if these guys, I know it's game 4 and I don't want to overreact, but if you truly bring in a legitimate guy in that top 4 defense to pair with Seider, you could be looking at one of the like up and coming top 4 in the entire NHL. Not only like, obviously ASP still has to grow and those guys have to grow, but with those 3 on the trajectory they are, you bring in a stabilizing piece to that top 4 and look out. But it's just good to see them performing the way they are. It's good to see how they responded to the controversy. They responded to getting slapped in the face by Montreal on opening night, where they weren't physical enough, where they seemed like they didn't want to take it and they just thought Montreal would give them the win. Now they're, dude, I can't tell you how happy it makes me to see the Red Wings not being pussies. They're actually hitting people. They're actually forechecking. They're actually getting behind the net and fucking people up. And it's hot. Play fucking hockey. Let's go.
Let's go, Smitty. We're talking about them. They did get out hit tonight. It was 32-14 officially on the scorecard, but it didn't seem like that. Like they didn't get physically dominated and like they have in the past, where all the players are just getting oop and then they're falling. Like they're actually counter hitting. They're looking to scrap in front of the net, and that's
they're comfortably moving through the neutral zone. They're running offensive sets and not being pushed off spots when trying to enter the offensive zone. They're not backing down. They're not tucking their tail and skating away. And Dylan Larkin gets cross-checked, and somebody's over there on that dude's ass immediately. That's how it has to be.
And 22 block shots from the Red Wings tonight. That is exactly what you need when you're playing a team like the Florida Panthers, because you kept them completely out of the middle of the ice. That's where they make their money. They're not a amazing team when it comes to like making things happen from the outside, but when it comes to making stuff happen from the inside, that is where they truly are like elite, and you kept them out of there, and that was so huge. Going into this game, I do want to point out, I'm going to go a little hockey nerd on you guys. Edvinsson and ASP were the 3rd ranked pairing in all of the NHL, and that's how good they've been playing. Like this pairing is just getting started too. This is their 4th game together, and they're still see right there. That must be the updated one. They're at 5, and Sherrod and Seider at 7. Like we're talking about finally seeing like the steps that we've been waiting for Seider to take. Like Seider, it looks like he is like taking another jump where he really feels like he's like locking down people at every single time that they're on the ice.
You can't get by him. You don't get by him.
No, he's so long. He's such a good skater. He's
so foundationally sound too. He's never out of position. He's not scrambling to try to make up, time on the ice. Like he's always in the right spot. He's always making the right decision. And like you said, with how long his arms are, and it's so good to see the development in live time and to see like this is what happens when you have an actual coach in here. When you have an actual NHL coach who actually implements physical hockey and knows how to win games and win playoff games and playoff series and knows what that looks like, we're seeing it on the ice through Todd McClellan's philosophies. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's a completely different brand of hockey than the Lalonde BS that we had to sit through. And shout out to Michigander 1212. Sorry, dyslexic kid here. My bad. Does this feel like the same start like we had last year? No, because last year they were still like a finesse team. There was no grit and there was no grime. They weren't winning the games like this. Like this is a different type of winning hockey, and that's why I wanted to come on here and say that like I do believe this team has gotten better. I do believe this team is growing. I think I have more belief in them than I've ever had that they can make the playoffs because of the fact of how they're winning these games. It's not just on offensive explosions out of random guys all the time. It's the entire team. You're getting production 1 through 4. You have 4 lines who are currently playing well. You have a decor you actually can trust.
Yeah.
You have 2 of the top pairing analytically in the entire NHL right now, and then a third pairing that is pretty damn solid. And then Cam Talbot is playing great. He's in one of his stretches right now where he's in this zone. You're going to need Gibson to come pick up the slack at some point. But he can do that. He is capable. Even
he's not
if
gonna let up 6 like that every night.
No, and that's also like there's a lot of emotions that I think we're seeing now. There was a lot of emotions, a lot of like buzz, and it must have gotten in the heads of these Red Wings players on night 1 for them to play that bad on the home opener of the Centennial season, and then to come out and respond like this. Like this is such a response that you had to have this in you. You had to know that this was there during training camp to be able to bring it out of these guys. And that's what McClellan did. And I tip my cap 100% to him to be able to rile up these dudes and get them ready to play hockey, because these last couple games, they look like a completely different team.
Yeah, and it's been a combination of everything. It's been a combination of, like I said, the young guys playing physical, playing fast, playing with reckless abandon, getting their nose dirty, going behind the net and working things out, and the veterans settling things down, whether it's JVR on 5-on-5 or it's Appleton in the penalty kill. It is these guys that you brought in here to do specific things, doing those specific things, and all of those things were what you needed. And I just – Emmett Finney, man, I thought, obviously the jump in the W, like Sean talked about it, like that happens a lot where you see a 19-year-old make that leap in the W and then it doesn't really do much. Obviously, he didn't have a lot of time in the A, and you say, here you go, kid. On a make or break season for Steve Yzerman's legacy as a GM, you're playing first-line minutes. Have fun. And he has taking care of business, man. Like I said, he is winning puck battles for that first line. He's providing a physical element. He's so much faster than anybody on the ice right now, and he's thick. He's not this 6'2", 6'3" giant power forward, but he's stocky and physical and knows how to use his size. And you see him doing that behind the net in the forecheck, creating opportunities, creating offensive zone like opportunities for the Red Wings. And that stuff you didn't have last year. Gross. And that stuff you didn't have last year. You didn't really see that out of a lot of these Red Wings. And I think the energy that we've seen, like from even Bernard Docker and from JVR and from Mason Appleton, is what this team needed out of the Tarasenkos and the Gustafsons and the Petries last year to insulate the kids and to let the kids use what they do best and not have to worry about that. Now that they're not picking up for the grandpas and the grandpas are right behind them doing shit well, it makes everybody around them better.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of Steve Yzerman getting it right. And he did. Like, this roster is built correctly. Like, you did, bring in the Appletons to take care of the PK. You brought in Gibson, which, regardless of how that first game is, I think we can all agree that he is better than Lyon.
And Husso. So either way, no matter if he is the 1B to Talbot's 1A, your goaltending still got better. JBD has looked great. Yeah.
And he deserves a lot of credit. He got sat the first game of the season.
Could have pouted.
He could have pouted. He could have got – he's like, no. He's like, fuck that. I'm coming in here after Harmonic plays like shit, and I'm going to come and I'm going to take this D pairing, and it's mine. This third pair is mine with Johansson. Also, Johansson is stepping into a bigger role. That is something that I loved seeing out of him. His ability to be transitional, to make plays moving forward out of the D zone has been great. He's really stepped up in that way where it allows JBD to be that defensive anchor on that line, and for Johansson to be that moving defenseman who's able to take the puck in transition. And that's something that Aljo didn't really do with Edvinsson, because Edmondson also is so offensively gifted. I think that the pairings right now are perfect. I think even if you bring in another defenseman in the trade deadline, I question whether or not JBD is the one you take out of the lineup. It probably ends up being Sherratt, and that's a luxury I love having. Like you want to talk about luxury, having a 6th and a 7th defenseman who both are reliable and you can count on being in that bottom pair with Johansson. That sounds like a dream that we've been waiting for 10 fucking years, for being able to have it on our back end, being secure, our goaltending being secure. And obviously it's not like, we don't have Hellebuck back there or Ottinger back there, but we have solid goaltending. Like we're not dealing with Husso in line. Like these are two guys who can win you hockey games on a consistent basis. And Talbot's showing you, because he's been playing great. And shout out to Ryan, man, 6'7", my guy. I can't. But the McClellan effect is real. This team just got huge division wins.
Yeah, so big, so big. You look at, like, I called this a must win. I did, and that's crazy for this early in the season. But like I said, you don't know when or if they're going to get Barkov and Tkachuk back. And you don't know when you'll be able to see a Panthers team that's licking its wounds still. So if they come into your town and they're a little banged up, even without Lucas Raymond, arguably your best forward, you got to win this game, because we know how close this race has been the past couple years in the East. You missed it by a win 2 years ago. You missed it by, 5 points last year. So you need to stack these wins when you can. We're hot right now. You had Panthers coming in. They were in a spot where they just got blown out by Philly, so they wanted to win too. It's not like they were coming in here off a 2-game win streak. Like, they just got their ass beat in Philly. And now you just go do that. It's awesome. And shout out to Christopher J. Rich with the super chat in there. He said a world of difference between games 1 and 4. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Like, I'm so happy to be watching this team play hockey like this. Like, it is night and day from the first game of the season to what we just saw. It's just a beautiful thing.
It is. And last year, how many times did you feel like we were talking about how, like you said, there's not really must-win games, but with how tight the East is, there are must-win games. And when you can get them, you got to get them. How many times did we need to get them last year, and we never got these types of wins? When it was a huge transitional game in the standings, we would always lose them. And to come out with a W in a divisional game where you just strung 3 together, and when you looked at the schedule and when we initially saw it, we were like, oh shit, this could be 0-6 out the jump. And now we're sitting here, we're 4-1.
Yeah.
With one of the hardest schedules in the NHL. That's something that we can hang our hat on.
Absolutely. You remember how we were like, oh man, they might not win a game until Buffalo. Like, it's a real opportunity. But look at that. Now you're tied for first place. And nobody with the super chat in the Woodward Sports chat, he says, Spenny, I just saw it's about time to invest in some Wings gear. Hopefully with the help of you boys, I'll get into a little bit. Also, Sunbush is okay. Sunbush is okay for sure.
Sunbush is definitely
I'm fine with Sunbush. We can work with Sunbush. Totally cool. But fake bush that Kim Kardashian's putting out there, no thanks.
I'm good on that.
But
I do.
Speaking of Bush, the gray bushes on this team, like you said, man, they look rejuvenized. They look like these young guys, MBN, who is just all over the place all the time whenever he's on the ice. He is getting into something with somebody at some point on the ice, and I fucking love it. Yeah, throwing chicken wings, cross-checking people, chopping legs. Like, I love that shit. You need a couple of those guys.
Was getting into it today too, dude. He was he wasn't taking any shit on his penalty. He was just like, nah, fuck you.
Dude, he cross-checked the fuck out of that guy. Good. Take that penalty in the first period. Do it. Don't lay down. Don't sit there and be like, oh no, he's bullying me. Oh, whatever. Don't hit him back. If you get caught, you get caught. But he knows next time he does that, you're gonna cross-check him in the fucking in the chest. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like get ready to drop some bombs
Yeah.
because this team's ready. They're
And Mo hasn't
hungry.
even really got into somebody yet.
No,
I'm
no,
waiting for the first one of the season.
I bought Chell today and I was playing with Cider and I literally was decking people before the game. And every time you do, they just start fighting him. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. It got me dialed for a Mo Cider fight. I can't wait for him to
Who do you
drop
think
some into
fights
someone.
first? Who do you
Between
think will
who?
be the first fight for the Red Wings?
I feel like it's gotta be Cider. It's gonna be Cider. It's gotta be.
I feel like it's going to be Andrew Kopp for some reason. I don't know.
That's a gritty answer. I don't
MBN.
know.
I wouldn't mind seeing MBN gets Big Ed, DeBrinket. Dude, Trippy Gypsy. That's a sleeper pick.
It is a
Cat likes
sleeper
to muck
pick.
it up.
Yeah. Cat gets in there. He loves getting in the corners.
Yeah,
He's small, but he's gritty,
he's
and that's
feisty.
why he made it to the NHL.
Yeah, he's our little jalapeno pepper. Cider or ASP? I don't want to see ASP fight.
No, I don't want to see ASP fight. No,
Cider. If you're up by 2 goals, sure, let Cider fight. If it's a 1-goal game, I don't want to see Cider fighting anybody either. Ben, you go handle that. If a fight needs to happen, I want to see Ben Sherratt. I want to see Michael Rasmussen. I want to see JT Comper. I want to see one of those guys fighting. I don't want to see Cider fighting anybody unless we're up or down by 3 goals.
yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm not about that. I think Rask getting into a fight. I think that's a good one. CK. I'd love to see.
He's got to do something.
Yeah,
Like he saved himself for another game or two with his decent performance in this game, but how long until he's out of there and you bring up Carter Mazur?
I think we're close.
I think we are too. And that's what I think he bought himself some time because he did play well tonight. He wasn't bad. He was doing good on the PK. He did some things, well, but also we didn't talk about this. How about Dylan Larkin at the fucking dot tonight? Like I don't know the stats and I don't know his percentage on the night, but he clutch face-off wins on that 4-on-3 on that 4-on-3
65%.
On that 4-on-4. He got it when you need it. On the 5-on-3, when you have 40 seconds for a 5-on-3, so you got to win that if you want to get 2 penalty or 2 power play trips out of it, and he does. And obviously, it leads to the Patrick Kane goal. He was what? What'd you say?
56%.
56%. There were big ones. Shout out to the captain, man. He played a great game today.
Yeah, yes, he did. And also Casper was a 58% in the dot as well. Great to see from him. Young centers usually take a little while to get acclimated and to start winning faceoffs at that clip. Casper seems to be well clipped in the dot. So that's great to see from him. Dylan Larkin, like we got to show him some love because without Lucas Raymond, like he really stepped up. He had 2 assists today. He was all over the ice.
Yeah.
Like in a way, like I don't even think I've seen from him in a long time. Like this is how I felt like young Larkin played, where he was everywhere on the ice. He was playing loose and free and was just letting it all hang loose, getting to the net, making plays. Like that's how where Dylan Larkin is playing the best, and that's what he did tonight. He played well defensively, he played offensively, like you said, he won key faceoffs, and that's the 1C Dylan Larkin right there. Like that is where he is
playing on the PK, playing on the power play, winning faceoffs, net front presence, kicking it out to extra people. Like he did everything. He did everything.
And he deserves that credit because he was playing with an understaffed line. Like he was playing with Appleton, who is a career 3rd and 4th liner. He's playing with a rookie Emmett Finney, and he is being an absolute catalyst on that line. He deserves a lot of credit to just go with the leadership that he is bringing this year because he's standing tall. He's standing in there. He's standing tough. And that's what I like to see out of him because he's not backing down either. He is part of this charge of playing physical and play gritty, blocking shots, and that's what I think embodies being a captain. You have to lead by example. And for the people who don't feel like he is suitable, I believe in him, and I think that he is doing a great job leading this team.
We Michigander in there with the Woodward Sports Super Chat. He says, who is the most impactful player off the bench so far? I would say it has to be Appleton. You look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's got a game-winning goal. He's got 2 goals in this one. He's got he has, I don't want to say single-handedly because obviously it takes a lot of people, but he has done so much already for this penalty kill unit to make it look better than it has, filling in for Lucas Raymond on the top line, which is not something anybody expected. We thought maybe JVR would be the guy that would fill in for Lucas Raymond, but he has been great for this team. Spartan Dog, taking care of business, man. I love to see it.
Yeah, he has been huge. It's hard to pick against that. I'm gonna say JBD though, because as he's been inputted
He
into
saved
this
us.
lineup. What?
He saved us from
Yeah,
fucking
he did.
Hammond.
Harmonic looked like Justin Hall 2.0,
He did.
and we were saved by JBD, which also is hilarious the way that we got him because Buffalo didn't want to pay him at all. They literally let him go. They were like, "We do not want you. We don't think that you can help our team win." And now he comes here, chip on his shoulder, and starts playing well, earns his spot on this team, and he's been a huge factor. If we didn't have him, I don't know if I could go through another night of Aljo Hamonic. I'm not gonna lie.
That was bad.
That really tested my mental for this team because I was crashing the fuck out all day. Like I couldn't even stand it. So Spenny, let's go back to the rookies for a second because
Yeah.
I truly think that they have played better in every single game. Like they truly are. Like every game, they're getting better and better and better. How would you grade them this far into the season? You can grade it by what you feel like their role in the team is right now, or by what you think your expectations of them should be.
Damn, dude, the bags under my eyes are getting pretty bad. Yes, I got to get some of that soap and water that Steve Eiserman's been using and clear up these bags under my eyes. But are we doing individually or?
Yeah, individually.
All right, who are we starting with?
Let's start with ASP.
Start with ASP. I mean, I don't want to slob these guys too hard, but it'd be hard to give any of them below like a B, honestly.
I think that's fair.
For ASP, I'll give ASP a B plus because he, even in this game, he had a couple plays where he's got to get better than that, and he's got to make sure that he's getting back. And yeah, shout out to our guy Jason Pratt in there. Sarge, the Red Wings won. Red Wings won 3-1. The good guys won. But yeah, I think that him and Edmondson, their chemistry is really blooming. They are playing off of each other very well. They provide a great kind of balance to each other's strengths. ASP, you see the rookie in him a little bit, and you'd like to see him be a little bit more physical, but you can't ask for a lot more than you're getting out of him right now. So I'll say a B plus.
I'd agree with that. I think he's made a couple rookie mistakes, the clears in the Leafs game and the mispositioning, but this game he was very sound fundamentally and positioning wise, and he's just waiting to take that jump. I really like what I've seen out of ASP so far, especially defensively, and that's really why I think the grade is so high for me, is because he really has been playing honestly uncharacteristically well defensively. If you would have told me that he was impacting the game more defensively than offensively, I would have called you insane. Okay, I would. But he's doing it. He looks fantastic defensively, and we're just waiting for the offense to come. And I think as a defenseman, all you can ask for is to be good defensively. So I'm gonna give him a B plus as well. And he is about to explode into the A category when his offense starts turning and he really starts becoming that threat, because he's going to learn that Edmondson is like his safety valve back there. He doesn't have to worry. He can be offensively minded when the time comes, because that's when he's playing at his best.
Yeah, and Michigander 1212 with a super chat says, if you could say now, is this a playoff team? It's so early. There's so much that goes on throughout the NHL season when you're talking about injuries and trades and different things. And the East is really tough. And if Boston continues to play the way that they've played, that's not something you expected in the East. I'll say yeah, though. If I have to say right now, I'll say yeah. I'm going to be positive. I like what I see. They're only going to take steps forward, and I think Steve will make a move at the deadline to bolster you even more after Captain called him out yesterday, which he talked about on in the intermission. He said,
Yes, he did.
he said that didn't really affect him and Larkin's relationship at all. They have very good communication together, and he thinks they have a very good relationship. So that's good to hear because I think Steve Yzerman knew, like, yeah, I probably should have done something different. He knows that his free agents last year were awful. That's why none of them are on this team this year. When you look at Tarasenko and Hall and Gustafsson and those guys. So, yeah, if I had to say it right now, I'll say yeah. I'll be positive and I'll say yeah.
I would say yes as well. We don't do our playoff meter, and before we were at a 6. I would say now I'm probably at a 7. I'm closer to making the playoffs than I am. Are you at an 8? I see. I try to pull myself back because I'm almost full. Like I'm like ready to go.
I mean, the
you
Leafs were healthy. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like the Leafs were missing knives or anything. They were healthy, and you beat them twice. And you didn't really play that good in the first half of the first game. And Florida's still like that. Florida roster, even without those guys, is better than 80% of the National Hockey League, and you beat them. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good right now.
I'm definitely trending towards yes. I'm feeling very confident in this roster, especially with the style of play. Like they are playing such a hockey town brand of hockey right now. And it deserves to be on the ice.
It's not bullshit. It's not Derek Lalonde hockey. It's not Jeff Blashill hockey. It's not this soft, timid, blah, blah, blah. Look for the perfect shot, dude. No, it is get the puck to the fucking net and attack the net. Attack the net hard. And if you see a loose ball or a loose puck, if you see a rebound squeak out there, attack that rebound. We see guys flying in there trying to get rebound opportunities. And they are just putting so much pressure on the opposing defense and putting so much pressure around the net that they're playing hockey. It's such a good brand of hockey right now.
No, they are. And like you said it, they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
This roster is only going to have more chemistry. You didn't even have Lucas Raymond out there tonight. Like Lucas Raymond is your best offensive forward. And
one of your best two-way forwards.
Yeah, best two-way forwards, especially when he's on his game.
Yeah,
and he looked like he's getting ready to take his step too, especially with an actual first line winger on that line. Like they've literally had a black hole of wingers the last 3 years on that line.
Yeah,
they've not had anyone who has been remotely a positive factor for them, and now they have Finney, who is doing everything that they want apparently in their alignment, to be gritty, to go into corners, win puck battles, to make
the forecheck has been so impressive, dude. The forecheck from Emmett Finney has been so impressive.
Everything that they said out of camp about Emmett Finney, about the way that he plays, it has come true. He has been a revelation for this team, especially out of the 7th round. And now I know, and we have been critical. But however, we have never said that we don't believe in Steve Yzerman, that the firing crowd is always too far. And now you're sitting here with 9 Steve Yzerman first-round picks draft picks on the roster right now, and they're all playing well.
Elmer almost had a tip in. Like he's using his body more.
Like literally every single one of them is helping you contribute in a positive way. And yes, there are some that are more than others. But how about every first-round pick? If you just want to take them out openly, just then, literally all 6 of them in the last 6 years are on the roster, maybe 5. But they are all contributing. Seider looks like he is making that jump too. And I know Deal will find this clip somewhere, or you'll tell him, but Mo Sutter right now is playing like a defensive level Norris candidate.
Yes.
He is. And Simon Edmondson is looking like he could be a top 2 defensive pairing or a top 2 defenseman in a lineup. He is that good. And he could arguably be a 1. Teams would be pining for him to be a 1 on their team. There are tons of teams in the NHL that would be so blessed to ever get Simon Edmondson on the roster. ASP is showing you as a rookie, and this is let's not forget, everyone, even high-level scouts said, ASP, it's going to take time. Like, he's not just going to pop as soon as he comes to the league. He's going to need to adjust to the ice, to the style of hockey. But he didn't have to.
No,
He's
not
come
defensively.
in and been effective time after time. So, and
Time
then
after time.
MBN has had his opportunities. He's finding the space, and he just needs to capitalize. He's probably gripping the stick a little too tight, which happens is when
He's fanned on a couple, yeah.
Yeah, which happens when you're starting out in a new league. However, he's getting to the right places. He still has an absolute cannon. They're gonna start falling for him. Yes, that would be amazing. I would have loved to see Finney Larkin and MBN instead of Appleton. However, I'm not gonna argue with the result. The results have been positive, so I'm not gonna gripe on that first line. However, there is no offense outside of him on that line.
It's bad, man. It's bad. I feel bad for him. I do, because he's got, and like even he's on the second power play unit with the same guys. I feel bad for MBN because what he is he is a rocket shot, and he needs a guy that's really going to set him up and provide some pretty good offensive opportunities to him. And Cop and Comfer are not that. They are. Like, we know Cop's place on this team, and that could be good, but maybe when Nate Danielson gets healthy,
that's what I was about to say.
Then we see what's going on with JT Compher. Like, are you bumping down to the fourth line center? Are we moving a guy out of there? Or you just see you later? Like,
Compher's got to be the scratch. Or
maybe we got to figure out. Steve Yzerman has to figure out a way to get JT Compher off of this team, whether it's pairing him with a Berggren or something like that in a trade for future considerations or cash considerations or whatever the hell it is. That's something that you got to do, because you have to free up a spot for Nate Danielson, and it's got to be that third line center spot. It has to be.
Especially if you're so hell-bent on keeping MBN down there.
Yeah.
If you have to give him someone who can contribute offensively, and Nate Danielson can do that. He's a great playmaker. He's got a pretty nice shot. He's got great hands, good vision. And honestly, with the way that all these rookies have come up and played, I'm uber confident now that Nate Danielson's going to come up and contribute, because Tom McClellan said it when he got hurt. There's a great shot. He was going to make the roster out of camp. It's a bummer he got hurt. I think he comes right in. And I feel like JT Compher has to be the odd man out, because at least Rasmussen brings some physicality. At least today, Compher never is physical,
No.
And he's not that good on the PK, where I'm not willing to play someone else there. And you'll have Raymond back, who I believe Compher played in Raymond's spot on the PK today.
Yeah, and that should be MBN. Michigander 1212 with a super chat in there. He says, looking at the schedule, do you think we will flop in the second half like we did last year? I don't have the schedule in front of me. I'll tell you right now, they're set up to have more success later in the season with a legitimate pairing of goaltenders with Talbot and with Gibson, with depth, the depth they have throughout their lineup. We talked about guys like your fifth, sixth, seventh defenseman actually being good players. You've talked about the forwards that you can rotate in. The young legs will help you sustain, and then you have even more young legs to put in, like a Danielson, like a Mazur, like a Lombardi. I expect those guys to all get opportunities at some point this year. So I think you are a lot more insulated than you have been the past couple of years, and hopefully that will provide you the March push, so you don't just shit your pants in March like you have.
Thankfully, we play a lot of home games in March and April, more than we do go on the road, which is a good thing.
But that is on Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin. We know that stretch in March that they've flopped every year for the past 3 years or whatever, those two guys kind of fall off. So they need to be consistent in their offensive scoring all year, and that's an important part of it.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's not just hyperbole. That is stated fact. You can go look at the stats. They do fall off heavy when it comes to March and April, and they're gonna be necessary, because this schedule is grueling in March and April. You don't have a lot of gimme games, and you honestly have a lot of games where there are a ton of tough matchups. You play every single top team in March and April. I'll read some of the headliners of the top teams to you. Golden Knights, Panthers, Devils, Panthers, Lightning, Stars, Canadians, Senators, Flyers, Rangers, Wild, Blue Jackets, Flyers, Devils, Lightning, Panthers. So you're fighting with all
Dude,
the
I don't
teams.
want to play Vegas ever. I never want to play Vegas ever. They're
You play
so
them twice in March.
they're
You
gonna
play
win
them
the cup.
twice in March.
They're gonna win the cup. If Florida's not fully healthy in the playoffs, Vegas is gonna win the cup.
Yeah. And I do think that it's going to be interesting with the Olympics. The Olympics are this year. I wonder how that's going to play a factor in the late end of the season. If a lot of people thought that the four nations had a effect on Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond. Both of them obviously faded at the end of the year after they came back from the four nations. So how is the Olympics? Because they're both most likely going to make the roster. Lucas Raymond will absolutely be on Team Sweden. Dylan Larkin most likely will also make Team USA. And so it's going to be very interesting for us moving forward, watching that situation, because they're going to have to show up. They're going to be key contributors, but at the same time, they're not going to have to carry as much weight as they have in the past. We've talked about it. This team is deeper. They are more set up for success in every regard. And yes, Sider's on Germany, but Mo Sider, I don't have
Not
any
worried
worry
about him.
about Mo Sider. I think it's different because they're smaller build guys, and they wear like later in the season versus Mo Sider, who's an absolute monolith, and it plays such a
Sider and
sound.
Edvinsson molding into the pillars that I expected them to be, holding up this team and holding up this defense is something so beautiful to watch. Like, I remember screaming for Simon Edvinsson to get minutes on this team a couple years ago, begging. I was making memes of the bat signal with Simon Edvinsson on it just because you need to get him up here, because I think I've said it before. I think he can be better than Mo Sider when you look at the complete package of the offense that he brings as well. But just seeing both of these guys playing at the level that they are right now and only going to go up from here, only going to get better as they get more comfortable. I mean, Mo Sider's about as comfortable as you can get with Ben Sherratt, but as Edvinsson gets more comfortable with ASP, they're going to expand even more, man. I love Simon Edvinsson. I love Mo Sider, dude. I love big, nasty defensemen, and those guys are playing like it right now.
Yeah, they are, and they seem like they are the pillars to becoming a Stanley Cup contender, which is what we have been forever building towards. It was, and Eisman always says it's not building to make the playoffs one time; it's building to have sustained success. And then now you're starting to see the pathway to sustained success with how well these draft picks are playing, and it's literally beautiful. I can't lie. Like I couldn't imagine a better start to the season, even with the game one,
even with the crash out.
So bad.
Hey, they heard us crash out.
Yeah,
and it inspired them to play better.
They responded.
And
so
did we.
We bounced back.
We responded. We bounced back.
We bounced back, but not as big as they did. No. And they deserve a ton of credit, because that's something that this team has been lacking for.
Hope I see Mo Sider tomorrow. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get in early tomorrow. Try to catch one of these wings at getting coffee. Thank you.
Thank you for saving my mental health. We appreciate you.
Yeah, shout out Cam Talbot, bro, for real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone.
12-12 says, what's the team's weakness as of right now? I mean, 5-on-5 scoring is still something that they haven't been able to unlock just yet. Obviously, that it doesn't help not having Lucas Raymond, but the 5-on-5 Michigander asked what their biggest weakness is. I would say it's still the 5-on-5 scoring at this point.
I would agree with that. I think it's definitely the 5-on-5 scoring, but however,
they're getting good opportunities.
This team is more opportunistic when it comes to their chances. They bury a lot more in those opportunities than last year's team had, where when JVR gets a breakaway, like Bergeron would miss that. JVR smokes it top left corner. That's the type of stuff where we wouldn't get that level of play last year, but this year we are getting that, and that's what these bottom tier guys can have done. Like Appleton scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. Like, what's huge? That three, I wouldn't have expected it. I can't
No.
no chance in hell. However, he's contributing in a big way.
He leads the team in goals. Mason Appleton.
Such a
And I
wild
mean
thing.
that it's a good thing. Like it's not like it's not like we don't have any wins and he's got 2 goals. Like no, they're scoring goals and he leads your team in goals.
No, yeah, he does. And
Patrick Kane's got what, 5 points in 4 games?
We're dialed. I can't lie.
They're playing well, man. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So we're watching good hockey at this point. So obviously you got a long season to go. Obviously, we got a lot of hockey to talk to you guys about. I think that'll do it for us today, Justin, unless you got anything else that you want to get out.
ASP supremacy. We're coming. Come on.
There you go. ASPFC, stand up, man. Shout out to the Red Wings, man. We talked about it. Cam Talbot, 3 amazing performances in a row. The physicality in this game against the Florida Panthers was amazing. Simon Edvinsson played his ass off. Emmett Finney has been a revelation on the first line. Mason Appleton leading the team in goals. It's just beautiful, beautiful stuff from the Detroit Red Wings. And we're going to be here all season long to keep you guys entertained, to keep you guys up to date. We're going to be doing the post games for every game we can. We're going to be doing weekly episodes still. We got one coming out Saturday at 10:30. We're going to record that Friday or tomorrow?
Yep, Friday.
We're going to record that. We're going to post it Saturday at 10:30. We're going to have another post game on Friday. We're probably not going to do the post game. Just say the boys are going to get turned up.
Yeah, I'm going to the game. I'm getting lit. Me and my dad are going to Star Wars night. I'm going to
Coon that night. So yeah, maybe we'll do like an Instagram live or something. But Sunday we'll be back with the post game. We appreciate you guys tapping in, man. The viewership is amazing for a hockey fucking post game show.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
You guys are
Is Hockey Town actually back? Is Hockey Town actually back? They're back for now, baby. Let's go. 3 wings in a row for the Wings. For Justin, I am Spencer. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.